Good morning, I'm Dragan Ahmetovic, and my presentation will focus on multi-touch exploration and sonification of line segments. This work was authored by myself, Cristian Bernoreggi, Sergio Mascetti, and Federico Pini, all from the University of Milan. Cognitive psychology research has demonstrated that blind and sighted people have a similar ability to process, comprehend, and reason on spatial information. However, the lack of ways for acquiring experience with spatial information impacts the development of spatial reasoning skills, in particular for blind children. Indeed, in education, spatial information is commonly conveyed through visual representations, and it is rarely available in an accessible form for blind children. Traditionally, to support spatial understanding for blind children, tactile materials such as embossed paper, thermographic print, and 3D models are used. To explore such materials, a common strategy is using both hands to assess the overall structure of the examined object, to acquire relative positions between the explored parts, and thus to build a mental model of the object. However, tactile materials take time to model and often require special instruments and sighted operators to be created. Furthermore, the amount of information that they can convey depends on their size, and once created, these models cannot be changed. Touchscreen interaction has recently been proposed as a way to provide spatial information to blind people through proprioceptive sensing, acquiring the position of elements on the screen area by touch, while information about the explored parts is conveyed through audio feedback. This approach was applied for many different purposes: for teaching geometry and literacy in grade school, for understanding math function graphs in higher education, or for accessing visual artworks in art venues. However, to the best of our knowledge, existing solutions use single-touch exploration, which is limiting when trying to assess spatial relations between different elements. This is also in contrast with the multi-touch approach used for exploring physical objects. With the goal of exploring multi-touch interaction on touchscreen and support children in exercising spatial exploration skills, we developed a mobile game called Sound Lines. This game is structured as a series of quick rounds. In each round, the child explores the touchscreen in search of two randomly positioned elements: a kitten and a mother cat. When found, an audio of their call is played. Then, the child should guide the kitten to reach the mother cat by following the line that connects them, without leaving the line boundaries. The line can be straight, curved, or broken. In the following user study, we only considered straight lines. While traversing the line, sonification is used to convey the position of the finger with respect to the line. The feedback is stronger in the proximity of the line boundaries and weaker when following the line center. When the mother cat is reached, its call displayed again to inform the user that the round was successful and another round starts. We designed and tested two exploration modalities. In single touch modality, the mother cat and the kitten are found in sequence, and then they are connected all with one finger. In multi-touch modality, the mother cat is found with one finger as before. Then, while holding the first finger on the screen, the kitten is found with another finger, which is then used to trace the line between the cats. This approach allows us to test the benefits of multi-touch interaction on touchscreens. 3 sonification modalities are available for providing guidance while tracing the line: volume modulation, which changes the intensity of the sound; pitch modulation, which changes the frequency of the sound; and period modulation, which changes the repetition rate of the sound. The exploration can also be performed without sonification, relying only on proprioceptive sensing. We performed a preliminary study with 4 adults with blindness to assess the feasibility, effectiveness, and preference of different exploration and sonification modalities. Due to the early stage of the prototype, The study focused solely on assessing the app accessibility and robustness of our approach. Therefore, it did not involve children, but only adult participants. The study consisted in a series of rounds played with sound lines and a follow-up questionnaire. During the rounds, we collected the following metrics. Errors, that is the number of times that user's finger left the line and had to restart the round. The time, which measures the total duration of the exploration, including the restarts. And the distance, which measures the average distance from the line center during the exploration. The follow-up questionnaire compared the exploration and sonification modalities considering ease of use, ease of understanding, pleasantness, and participants' overall preference. Besides P4, who completed only one task repetition due to lack of time, participants completed all assigned tasks and questionnaires. Participants were quicker in following the line with volume modulation in single rather than multi-touch exploration. However, this did not result in more accurate line following or fewer errors. This may indicate that both modalities are similarly effective for touchscreen spatial exploration tasks. With single-touch exploration, the average distance scores were found to be significantly different across sonifications. Specifically, period modulation had lower scores with respect to other sonifications. Instead, we did not observe improvements on multi-touch exploration due to different sonification modalities. One explanation is that in the multi-touch modality, the participants were primarily guided by proprioceptive sensing during the exploration. This was possible because the two elements on the screen were connected with a straight line, which could then be followed relying solely on proprioception. We expect the users to rely more on the sonification feedback during multi-touch interaction when curved or broken lines are used. Considering the questionnaire responses, period modulation was the preferred sonification for most participants, in particular considering ease of understanding and overall preference. However, preferences varied for pleasantness, and some of the participants were also undecided. Instead, all participants but P1 preferred single to multi-touch exploration. We attribute this result to the fact that the participants were more used to this modality because it is adopted by screen readers on most mobile devices. Thus, prolonged usage might be needed to get used to multi-touch exploration. Furthermore, two participants had difficulties in performing the task due to system gestures sometimes being triggered during exploration. Specifically, starting the exploration from the top screen edge would sometimes trigger system notifications. Also, in multi-touch modality, moving fingers in a circular motion would sometimes trigger the rotor gesture. These issues may have also contributed to worsen the perception of the multi-touch modality. As future work, we will design a new iteration of the system addressing the limitations of the current approach, in particular the confusion of the exploration movements with system gestures. We will also experiment with different exploration modalities, such as simultaneous exploration with both hands, which is commonly used for tactile exploration. We will run additional user studies and longitudinal experiments with children participants to understand their performance during touchscreen exploration activities. In conclusion, we proposed a simple multi-touch exploration paradigm supported by different sonification approaches. We implemented our interaction modality within an edutainment app for blind children aimed at exercising spatial exploration skills. We performed a comparative evaluation with single-touch baseline to assess performance and preferences. Thank you.